this spirit is kind of, there is definitely a spirit that is attached. Let's be clear about that. And I'm seeing that this spirit is angry with you, feeling that you were telling its story unfairly.
All right, guys, so you've probably seen the title and you can imagine what I'm about to do. I'm about to get a psychic reading. Now, I have never done anything like this in my life. I've actually tried to in the past, but I was never able to record it, and I kind of wanted to get it showcased for YouTube. Now, lately, I've been having some sort of problem with things going on in my house. And ever since we went to the one church, ever since we went to the one cabin, we've been capturing this one shadowy figure. It almost seems like no matter where we, like, I don't know if you're hearing all the shit that's going on in my house right now, but like, this is, maybe not with these mics, but it's wild. Last night, I had a picture that was on the wall over there fly off the damn wall. And I mean, hold on one sec, baby. I'm going to show you really quick. So I have 6 photos up there. You might not see it because of the grass. The one on the top left just flew off the wall, shattered, right? Now, it's a picture of, let me show you. The picture in question, oh God, it's an absolute disaster. The picture in question was one of me and Jen. Yeah, we were golfing. And don't know, not quite sure, but something like that doesn't just happen when it's hanging on the wall by a nail, you know what I mean? So one night I went on Google and I was looking up, psychic mediums, hoping to do like a FaceTime kind of thing or Zoom, I don't know, and to hopefully record it. That way I could basically showcase you guys what I'm experiencing and stuff like that. And none of them wanted to be recorded at all. So I kind of gave up on the idea. I was like, whatever, that would have been a great idea. But nevertheless, I am on TikTok that same night. And I don't know if this is coincidence. I believe in coincidences, but I come across a TikTok account from a woman by the name of DD, or Siren and Soul. And I forgot what the initial video was, but it was in regards to something spiritual. And I was like, is this a sign? And I looked at the account, and not only did they do psychic readings, tarot card readings, but there is so much knowledge this person has on everything spiritual, the dark side of things, the light side of things, and just everything in general. And I was like, okay, I see that she has an Etsy account. So I click the Etsy account and does tons of readings and amazing reviews. Everyone's leaving 5-star reviews. And I was like, okay, this is good. This is a good sign. So I decided to message her and I was like, hey, listen, I'm dealing with something currently. I believe that something is following me, and it seems pretty angry, it seems powerful. I asked if there was any way that we could record the call, the psychic reading, and see if we could, go from there. And she was just absolutely amazing, super helpful. And yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm going to show you the entire psychic reading right after this intro. So get ready because it's pretty wild. I found out that I do indeed have something attached to me. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm going to need you to really listen to this because it all makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. And once again, I want to give a big shout out to Dee Dee, Siren and Soul. All of her links will be down in the description below, from Instagram, her Etsy, TikTok, everything. Support her in any kind of way you guys can. If you ever wanted a psychic reading or any type of reading at all in your life, this is the person to go to. I highly recommend it. And also, let me know down in the comment section below if you do get one. Let me know how, what you found out, what's going on in your life and whatnot. So, yeah. Whatnot. I got to stop saying that damn word. Let's get into the reading. Enjoy.
My name is Dee Dee Finewood. I go by Siren and Soul on TikTok and Instagram, and I am a full-time tarot reader and psychic. I've been doing this for about 6 years, and I've worked in a lot of shops, but now I just do it completely independently. So I do this because I've seen a lot of things. I've experienced a lot of things. I've been able to see spirits for a couple of years, and there is quite a lot out there that people don't know about. And my main goal is to just help people as much as I can. And a lot of times that is just helping them understand that realm a lot better. So for people like you who are really into paranormal investigations, it's super common if there are some sort of energetic ties or spirits that decide to attach to an individual, either feeling that they have disrespected their space by making the videos there or being there, or genuinely just out of they need an energy source, or they're bored, or they want something to do. I've had spirits attached to me. I've seen a ton of people with it happen. It's super common. No shame to it. I mean, it's just how life goes when you're in this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we've only been doing this for about not even full 4 months now. And I kind of just like, everyone's like, hey, you should do this, you should do that. So I was like, all right. So we did things with like the Ouija board, and we started going to locations that were more and more extreme history wise and whatnot. And I guess that's the one thing I'm concerned about, because ever since we left one place, it's just like really weird things have been happening. And literally last night at 3, because I edit really late, I was just sitting here, and I don't know if you could see, but I have 6 photos, or had 6 photos up there. One of them just flew off, like it completely shattered and everything. Swear to God. I called it a night at that point, and
Yeah.
woke up, here I am. So I don't know, it's just really weird things. It's almost like you can just feel, it's like when you feel like someone's staring at you, and you
Mhm.
know they are. It's kind of that kind of thing, but all the time. That's at least how I could explain it. So
Yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from. When you have a spirit in your house, or a spirit that is attached to you, it definitely feels like you're being watched. So that is really concerning, though, that it has enough energy to pull things off a wall like that. I I don't know a ton of spirits that are like spirits of the dead that can necessarily muster up that much energy to do that. A lot of times, that is more of a demonic entity. Um, I have a lot of experience with demonic entities. They're called the Goetia, and they are essentially Mesopotamian spirits that have been kind of shaped and formed into different beings over the like eras. And like Astaroth is known now as Aphrodite. It's like a thing where they're just like this constant, almost immortal spirit that exists, and they're not always evil. Like they are very neutral beings. They're very human like in the way that they're transactional and very self absorbed, if that makes sense.
yeah, that makes sense.
So let's get started for you. We'll see what's going on with that. See if there is anything attached and what we can do to kind of help you out with this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. By the way, guys, if you ever need any sort of reading, psychic reading, please go check DD, Siren and Soul out. All their stuff will be down in the description below. It's very, very much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Alrighty. So right off the bat, what I'm seeing for you is that there is a feeling of like something's been stolen. This spirit is there is definitely a spirit that is attached. Let's be clear about that. And I'm seeing that this spirit is angry with you, feeling that you were telling its story unfairly. I'm seeing that with this also being said, this is a male spirit. Um, this male spirit is actually incredibly, he was in a place of power within his life. I'm seeing that it is probably like a father or a grandfather kind of spirit. And this place of power for him, his story was just not told in a way that he found accurate. So I'm seeing that he is attached to you. Is this has to do with a lot of suffering, a lot of heartbreak, and it has to do with staying put. Now, this had to do with something that was in your general area. Was there a house or something that you visited in your general area?
Yes, actually, which is crazy. The first place we ever really recognized something was this one cabin. It was kind of deep in the woods. And the reason we even went there was because we were invited based on the owners explaining their story there, saying that they would hear things in the middle of the night. They would see this one shadowy, misty figure outside of their doorways and stuff like that. It was just this one all the time. And they invited us to come over to kind of, stay and experience. That was the first ever time that I really experienced something like clear cut. And it was definitely angry. It wasn't very happy with us. But that, yeah, that wasn't too far from home. That was about an hour and a half.
Okay. And then in the video that you made in regards to that, did you have any specific things that you said about the history of the place or what could have happened there?
Yeah, we sat down for about 10, 15 minutes, and it's funny you say that because while we were trying to explain the story, my friend Ben ended up getting sick, and he actually had to go to the bathroom mid-story, and oh my gosh, that's wild. Yeah, so it seemed like it definitely wasn't happy with how we were explaining the story, but we were just going based off of what the homeowners were telling us.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I'm seeing that there was a bit of a the ending of the story was what this person was not fond of. I'm seeing that there was kind of an excuse for this individual. He feels that he had a reason behind what happened and he had a reason for how things went down. And he feels like it wasn't highlighted very well to the general public. Because of this, it's causing him a lot of aggression in the afterlife. And I think that's how he's mustering up enough energy to throw things off the walls and to attach to you. And if you've been feeling really low energy recently, or that you don't have motivation, or you feel like you can't like pull yourself together, or you're more volatile or emotional than usual, a lot of times that is, that a spirit is using your energy source, like you're its little power box. And that's how it's getting all that energy. So with, yeah, I'm seeing that this person's life was not finished in their eyes. I'm seeing they had a lot more that they wanted to accomplish, and it is causing them a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. I'm going to see what it is that they want from you now, because I'm unsure if it's like just an aggression thing and they're going to want to stick around and we're going to have to find a way to like aggressively get away, like get rid of it, or if it's going to be happy to go on its own. Alrighty. He seems decently reasonable. I don't think that he's completely unhinged and trying to harm you. I think it's genuinely, he just wants his name cleared. He just wants his sense of self feels shattered, and he's afraid that he's going to be remembered poorly in the future. Is there a murder attached to this? Is there something negative there, or is it just a financial thing? I'm seeing a lot of financial room.
Yeah, actually, so this whole land sat abandoned for a while, and there was this cabin that was kind of just like a rustic old cabin in the area. And from what the homeowner told us, were a group of people came there to kind of just, do things and drink and have fun and whatnot. And the morning, the morning after that night, they were all found deceased on the property. And he said that obviously it was like a whole ordeal. It's a very, very small town, and the local folklore was they were dwelling into deeper things, occult stuff and whatnot. But that's just local folklore from what the homeowner said. He ended up purchasing the land, and obviously the cabin came with it. They renovated it to their best ability, but that's as much as we know. Apart from just knowing the land was also on burial ground.
Gotcha. Lots and lots of different energies there for sure then. I think that the spirit, there was a main male spirit who I believe either owned the cabin or had some sort of tie to it in a more of a leadership authority position. There's a spirit within this situation. It was a person who was there who was in some form of leadership. It's either like he was a father, a grandfather, or possibly in politics, but he was a leader in his field. And he doesn't want people to think that he was messing around with the occult. I think that that is mainly the thing, because, like you said, that is the local folklore. But I'm thinking that for him, he just genuinely, it wasn't that, it was something entirely different. But the entire situation is so curious to me, considering people just turned up dead. They had no explanation for that.
It was a long time ago, they said, to the point where they really didn't, they were just so, from what he says, very small town. They didn't have like the capabilities of a much larger group to determine what caused this. And so they just deemed it was supernatural or it was just natural causing. There was rumors that it could have been carbon monoxide poisoning. A lot of things that he said, but it was all just like twisted. It's almost like it's been passed down, this story, for so long that it just kept getting altered. But from what he said, it was just like they were just dead on the property and they had to remove them.
It is really curious because like I am not feeling like there's any malicious intent here. I think that it was genuinely something completely out of this individual's control. And it caused for a lot of just like unrest within himself because I feel like his main fear going into death was not, oh, I'm dying. His main fear was, what if I'm remembered wrong? What if I'm remembered as something I'm not?
Right, right,
And
right.
this is definitely causing him a lot of turmoil. So let's see what we can do to kind of reason with him. Alrighty. So what he's worried about the most is his family. Do you know the names of any of these victims?
None of them.
Okay. There's a feeling of like family disappointment, feeling like he didn't live up to the expectations of his family, or worrying that his family isn't okay, or that they're going to have negative thoughts about him, even down generational lines. So it is a big thing. I'm not sure if this could be something that you could take some time to really research and look into who this person was, what this whole thing like. I don't know how it kind of went down because I'm seeing that that's the reason. And I think that only then is he going to start leaving you alone, when you kind of name a little bit. I don't sense that he's like a super malicious spirit. I'm not getting any sort of demonic energy, but I'm definitely getting that he is angry and he's very angry with you. Yeah. Which is super common. I mean, spirits are just like people in the way that they're emotional and they're volatile. And a lot of times, like, they can get away with more than we do, like they can throw pictures at you. We can't really just throw picture frames at each other. So, yeah. So, I would definitely say if you could take the time to really look into that. Does that sound like something that you'd be able to do?
Yeah, absolutely. No problem with that. Because I actually am getting closer with the owner. So I think what I can do is I could see with him if we could go down, kind of find like the old documents of the property. I'm sure every county has them usually, and maybe we could get to the bottom of what actually happened and tell the story better. Maybe come back to the place one last time and kind of like a last send off, and hopefully, that puts an end to it. And I could restore his honor too, and everything.
Yeah, I think that would definitely help him and also in turn help you just because of the way that it's gone down. And like for the future, just moving forward when you do these spiritual things, unfortunately, this stuff is going to happen. It doesn't matter how many wards, how much protection you have up. Spirits they're gonna come your way. That's just how it goes. My only warning to you is when you are going through these places, I would not recommend wearing any sort of cross jewelry. It's just yeah, it's just a very big thing, with if there are demonic entities, because a lot of the places that you do go to, they seem to have a tie to the occult, and demonic entities, they kind of view that as an invitation to mess with you.
Okay,
Yeah,
understandable.
they're fun like that.
Yeah, they're little tricksters, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long we've gone so far. I think we haven't gone that long at all, but do you have any other questions for me, things that we want to get through?
Yeah, actually. So obviously, since I just started doing this 3, 4 months ago, and I'm kind of still, I consider myself an amateur. Obviously, you know, and I guess a couple of questions is there anything that you would recommend to absolutely never, never do? I know I don't like using things like Ouija boards and don't like using things like that. But is there any other things that you would like absolutely recommend to never do, to never piss off any spirit, to never, get another sort of attachment? I know, like you said, it's going to happen anyways, but to better protect myself and my friend from it happening more often, I suppose, is there anything that you recommend?
Well, when it comes to things that I wouldn't recommend doing, I don't know, have you looked into any sort of Solomonic magic at any point?
I don't believe I have.
Okay. I would recommend not looking in, like you can look into it obviously, but I would not recommend casting circles or trying to summon demons in a way that like I don't know if you've gone that far with your channel, but
No, not yet.
there is
But
something where you can essentially you can summon demons, you can trap them, and you can get them to do the things that you want them, to do. And
okay.
it is really dangerous just because the second that you kind of put like any sort of weakness out there when you're doing this kind of stuff is the second they will attach to you. So I wouldn't recommend following any sort of Solomonic magic books when it comes to that stuff if you ever get into that. With typical entities, I would definitely recommend trying to remain as calm as you can within the situations because they will literally feed off your energy. So if you're in a situation and you're getting really scared, that energy is literally like it vibrates. Oops, sorry, my cat just walked by the screen. The energy just totally it vibrates at a different frequency and they're able to latch onto that a little bit better. And they, may feel the need to be hitchhiking ghosts. So
Understandable. Um, well, I had another question. Just trying to think how to word this correctly. So, obviously, with doing YouTube and stuff, I know obviously spirits are from different eras and from different times. Do you think when we're walking around with these cameras and whatnot, does it like play a part in whether or not they would show themselves more often? Not obviously physically, but if they would show their activity or their power or whatever they could possibly do. Do you think it has a effect on whether or not they would?
I think it definitely does. I mean, for a spirit who has been, trapped in this house, especially these abandoned houses, where people aren't going modernly, if, imagine that you were from like the 1800s and all of a sudden these guys start walking into your house with these big cameras and stuff like
Flashlights and yeah.
yeah, it's definitely I think a scary experience for them just because they don't know what's going on and they're also kind of trapped in this weird like the only way I can really describe it, it's like feeling like this like molasses. I don't even know. It's like this weird world, and it's definitely scary for them. All the interactions I've had with them, a lot of times, if they especially died in a sad way or they're tied to a place, they will be like freaking out, feeling like they don't know what's going on. And maybe they'll be blaming you. You come in with these big cameras and things, and they don't know what's going on or what they are. So in their heads, it's like some weird sort of hell, maybe if they're religious, or it's some sort of purgatory or something, and it's hard for them. So I think for those kind of spirits, making yourself known, like introducing yourself and being like, this is who I am. I'm here doing this and trying to explain it in the best way that you can and saying like, we just want to kind of talk to you and get your side on things. They're reasonable with them as humans because they're really not that different. They're just really scared people usually.
I guess that makes a lot of sense. And in
Yeah.
regards to demons, just on the topic, but when you said there's a lot of demons out there, right? Okay, and obviously there's the more bigger ones that people know and whatnot, but there's also some that you could encounter on just like an any sort of basis, or is it more like, I guess the one thing I always wondered was, are there already demons roaming around, or is it more like a you have to summon them kind of thing, or is it both?
It's a little bit of both. So there are like higher demons who are busy. They have bigger tasks. They're out kind of doing their own thing. Um, they are on the earth. They are roaming the earth. And like their entire life is essentially messing with people. That's just kind of what they do. And of course, they have their own stuff that they're up to, but they have agendas, they have plans, they have things that they're trying to do. They're trying to like bring glory to the kingdom of hell, is essentially what any book on the Goetia would tell you. And, like for Baal or Belial or Azeroth or any of those, they might be busy doing things, but there's smaller demons like Bifrons, Amy, Ames, Grimoire, and they're probably off, looking for any way to kind of gain power. And a lot of times that is through people, especially people who have power. So if you are someone on earth who has any sort of following like you do, you have the ability to spread more of their energy, more of their ideas to the world.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so they're going to be more willing to go towards you versus some random person who's just in the house hanging out.
Right. Damn, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for everything, by the way. I'm sorry, I'm so new to this. I know my questions are probably very basic and whatnot, but yeah, I think that was it for me. I think that was it. You really cleared up everything for me. I know exactly what I have to do now, and I'm definitely going to take the steps on doing that this week, 100%, and hopefully clear myself up and whatnot. So.
But if you do need any extra help or you need any advice or anything, I'm always here. You can always just shoot me a message and just say, hey, this is what's going on, and I can try and clear some things up for you if there's any issues.
Awesome. Thank you so much for everything. You're an awesome help, and yeah, it was awesome. You really cleared everything up for me. So I really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, remember, if you need any sort of anything reading, please click the links down in the description below. Follow her. Make sure to support in any kind of way. So once again, thank you so much, and I'll keep you updated. So.
Sounds good. Interested to see how it goes. But I hope you have a great one.
So here we are, post psychic reading, and it is determined that I have a attachment. Now, from what we found out, that it seems to not be demonic, which is great, which is phenomenal, but it's an angry spirit, and they want me to fix what happened. So what I'm assuming is that the homeowner, what story he was told initially about the land and all the spirits that may have passed away on the land may not have been exactly pinpoint. So maybe it's like a game of telephone, right? I could have 10 people lined up on this couch and we all whisper something into each other's ear. By the time it gets from the first person to the last person, I could say, go water the garden, and over there it's gonna say watermelons are $5.99 at Walmart, and it's like, you never know, like, so things could change. I'm just assuming that's it, but there's only one way to really find out. I'm actually getting a little bit closer to the owner because obviously now I've stayed there twice. I think what I'm going to see is if he's willing to. Obviously, this is entirely up to him. It's not my decision. But if we're able to maybe dwell deeper into it, maybe go get the records of the home and kind of see like everything that happened, the land itself and whatnot. Maybe it'll be there, maybe not. This was such a big thing, I'm assuming it would have been. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go and do something because it's bright outside, and I'm gonna try to keep myself positive and going today. So I'm gonna go like mow the lawn or some shit. Yeah. We have a new video dropping tomorrow. You're watching this Sunday, so a new video dropping Monday. Get ready because it's crazy. It's just crazy. See you guys soon.